Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Robyn is known as for counseling psychology, transpersonal psychotherapy, BMSC ministry, and author. I admit I don't know what these initials are for, so I'm hoping you will explain that you are BAPPSOCSC. Forgive me, I looked it up and just couldn't get an enlightenment on it. Counseling psychology, transpersonal psychotherapy, a ministry, and author. Leading the ordinary life of an Australian suburban mother, Robyn Collins never expected to experience the sudden death of her newborn baby and the depth of grief and depression that followed, nor did she ever imagine it would precipitate a journey of awakening, traversing both ancient Eastern philosophies and Western positive psychology. Robyn's unique approach to workshop training, coaching, and counseling individuals, couples, and families is built on a broad foundation of training from traditional approaches of Western development psychology and Eastern philosophies. Her use of contemporary therapies such as mindfulness, existential psychotherapy, acceptance and commitment therapy, self-actualization, and transpersonal approaches of spiritual psychology and energy medicine, Reiki, allows for deep and rapid transformation, restoring health, wellness, and self-empowerment. Her training includes Australian College of Applied Psychology, Monash University, the University of Sedona in the United States. She's an ACA member and an NDIS provider. Robyn also specializes in grief and bereavement, crisis and trauma, suicide prevention, intervention, and domestic violence prevention. The awakening process is a series of practices and programs based on evolutionary wisdom. The awakening process is a quantum living experience that takes you on a journey through high vibrational and personal development tools for super performance and evolutionary enlightenment. And Robyn's topic for us today is the awakening process. Welcome, Robyn.
Hi, Deb. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Delphine. That was such a beautiful gift of your gift. It was lovely. So that is the letters are Bachelor of Applied Social Science. So BAS, yeah. So Bachelor of Applied Social Science and Bachelors of Metaphysical Science. So that's what the letters are. Yeah, Deb, so thank you, and hello everybody. Welcome to this beautiful platform. It's lovely to be here. And yes, as Deb shared, my journey began due to the loss of my daughter nearly 30 years ago. And so it has been of course, it was an existential crisis. I didn't know. It was just like the rug was pulled from underneath me of life. I had no answers. I had, of course, my daughter passed from bronchial pneumonia. Yet there was something so much deeper for me. There was something that I could accept her physical death. I could accept, all of the problems that occurred. Yet I could not accept the existential why. So the existential why was beyond just what the doctors could give me. And so, as shared in the introduction, of course, I traversed. So I travelled a very, very long and diverse pathway of trying to find answers. The big why. Why did my daughter die? And then of course that just opened up a can of worms. Why does bad things happen to good people? Have I done something wrong? Is this my karma? Is this my? I was just lost in this soup of confusion. So what actually happened with that, and I will admit that I was in a very dark, deep hole for 2 years, and I also just prayed to a God that I didn't believe in or understand. So as Delphine shared, I remember just, saying, if there's a God, you please, you've got to show up, because this hurts too much. I was suicidal because the emotional pain was just beyond, well, I'm sure you can understand how harsh it was and how hard it was. And then within the next fortnight, I was watching Oprah, and Oprah had a guest speaker on, and she was speaking on her near-death experience. And I was watching this lady speaking about how she was on the operating table. She had died, gone, saw herself looking down at her body, and then felt herself being drawn up into the light, into a tunnel of light. And for some reason, whatever it was that this lady was sharing at the time, it was Betty Eadie, actually, Embraced by the Light, I think that's the name of her book. But anyway, Betty Eadie, and it just I just felt like this ton of bricks came off my shoulders, this ton of weight. And it's like, wow, like that makes the most sense out of anything I've heard. And so that's what started my journey. I went and bought Betty Eadie's book, read it. This is back in the 90s, so there was no internet. And then I started reading about Reiki and meditation, and all of a sudden this amazing world just opened up. Anyway, so I continued to follow that journey, and here I am today, nearly 30 years later, and I'm here to be able to support humanity in their own awakening, and to be able to shift out of their pain and suffering, and to really get a sense of their own true nature of being. It is now about just being an ongoing service to the amazing life that we can have when we tap into our soul's true nature. So the true awakening has been born and birthed from that, and the awakening process. The awakening process are programs that are designed to powerfully shift your worldview, shift the worldview, to transcend it, to give us a whole new and wonderful mindset of understanding, to shift our worldview, to uplift our approach to life. And as you shared, they're based in Eastern philosophies. They're based in Eastern philosophies because of all of the work I did with Reiki, with Kriya Yoga, with breath work, and being on spiritual pilgrimages and doing a whole lot of self spiritual work. And also they are emotionally attuned, trauma-sensitive contemporary approaches based on depth psychology, spiritual attunement, quantum physics, biology, neurology. So today there's the awakening process is just this whole practice, this whole package, utilizing these principles and practices of integral and evolutionary psychology, meditation, and other spiritual practices. So ultimately, it is about the heart. Ultimately, it is about finding and attuning to our sense of self, understanding our true nature of being, the soul's true nature, why are we here, and also the heart. So when we align ourselves with the cosmic heart, there is a heart coherence, and that coherence with our body, mind, and spirit, it gives us an opportunity for anything to be possible. So it attunes us to the soul's true nature of love consciousness, so that we can manifest our highest potential in this lifetime, and also be able to help not only ourselves, but our family and our community. So the heart is the depth and the essence of the Creator's creation for all of us. And that creation is like pure mind, pure being, pure intelligence, pure love, and the fulfillment of all wisdom and the depth of all compassion. And again, as Delphine shared, the gratitude being the attitude for awakening. It is a very, very one of the highest keys spiritual awakening. And so it's not just the heart, the physical heart, but the heart that we share, that that the body and life itself has emerged from within a power that is, we are in the heart of the creative principle. So we have our own sense of heart being within us, but we are also embraced in the heart, in the cosmic heart. And it's in this space, that overflowing love, that the love that we can be to service, to support each other, to support community, to elevate humanity, and help us all transcend the limitations of the conditioned world, because that's what we're living in, a conditioned world, and we are all conditioned through our own birth, our family, conditioned by our community, society, our culture, religions. And so this is an opportunity to transcend all of the limitations of the conditioned world, and it allows to keep us on a pathway where we are alive, awake, radiant, liberated and free. And so the questions I often ask people are, has your life become an endless and exhausting self-improvement project? Because I did it, I understand. An endless self-improvement project. And it was that for a long time, until I was given my own gift from consciousness, from the divine, from the universe, that is the foundation of the awakening process. So these are the questions I was asked after years of working on yourself through self-help therapy, spiritual seeking, trying to quieten your mind, lose your ego, or even to become enlightened. Do you still feel far, but you still feel far from where you want to be? Is there still some tiny, tiny thread, something missing? Do you long to stop running and avoiding things? Do you want to stop? Do you want to end the struggle of life? Do you want to return home to the sense of, what is that sense of wholeness and home? Do you yearn to slow down and to come out of the repetitive and exhausting thinking and rest deeply in the arms of the present moment? And so these are the questions I ask people, or these are really the questions that people bring to me that have formed. I've formed these questions around, because people are exhausted, and yet there's what's really great, that there is something, the actual pathway of learning and growing, and then getting to the end of this state of exhaustion. There's sort of like, when we get to the point of exhaustion on the spiritual path, and we just stop. There's a moment of grace when we stop. There is this new transformation that's about to birth from that place. So, and that's what I actually found. Years and years and years of doing all these practices and modalities, and even being in university for 4 years doing psychology, that I came to the end of it, and it's just like, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so tired. And it was in the moment when I stopped, I put everything down, and I just rested in this beautiful space of emptiness. And then a new energy started arising out of that emptiness. And it was a much more simple approach. It was very quiet. It was very simple. It was very easy. And it was out of that place that the awakening process actually was birthed from. And the process itself is not complicated. It is about just helping people move into what I call the direct approach of awakening. Very simple, very kind, very gentle. So it's based on non-dual meditation and what I call primordial meditation, sacred unity, this beautiful, holy and sacred space of resting. There is a divine intimacy, again, a sacred intimacy where there's just this beautiful sense of this heartfelt connection. So the awakening process is like yoga for the soul. I like to call it too, is yoga for the soul. So in these approaches, radical openness can occur, and we can experience so much more gentle inner peace without the struggle. And from that place, all of the wisdom arises, all of the answers to our questions. When we sit back and we don't try to push things to make things happen, not my will, but to sit back and to rest in the heart's will. When we learn how to sit back and just breathe, the breath is the carriage of the soul. So when we're breathing in the light, we're breathing the carriage, we're breathing the light and the soul into and embodying it into being consciously. Miracles start happening. And as Delphine shared with the breath work, it's because the breath is the soul, it is the life force. And when we bring our attention, our awareness to our breath, then miracles truly unfold. And we need to do nothing. We just to allow that miracle to start opening up the pathway for us. So that's a little bit about what the awakening process offers. And we also have, I'm very, very happy to announce that we also have myself and Shane that's going to be speaking soon. We also have a platform called The Truth Awakening, and it's a platform for conscious community and awakening souls. And we have created it out of our own very deep, sincere passion to service to the divine, to the universe, to source, and the awakening for humanity. So we will can share a little bit more of that with you. So yeah, that's about me. And I do have some books that I've published. So I have Return to Soul. So this is the book that I wrote after my daughter passed, and the spiritual journey that I went through. And then I also have Primordial Meditation. So Primordial Meditation, this is part of the awakening process, and this was actually channeled, and it's being taught. I teach this online and live, and I have a lot of beautiful meditation practices. Sacred Soul. I have some a YouTube channel. People can go and listen to some beautiful meditations on spiritual awakening. They're actually the meditations are speaking inwardly to the soul and the love. Excuse me, and the love and that pureness that the soul is. So thank you.
Thank you very, very much. That's wow, a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah. And looking forward to the discussion part of our session, so that we can all ask some more questions and have some more interaction. I want to, at this point, share with you, if I can bring this up. We have, there you are. And that will be out to you. And
beautiful, thank you.
Do that. You're welcome. So, and I'm going to extend this invitation to everyone, and again at the end, but to become more involved in the future, also with the growing of these sections all around the world and in each country. And we're going to present some more information for you regarding that, so that you can help to continue to expand if that is of interest to you. So we'll have more information on that as well. And thank you again for a beautiful presentation.